Oh, Ronaldo, what the hell, bro? Wait. Welcome, guys. It is the opening round for the LMP2 Sarco Season 2, proudly sponsored by Thrustmaster and Mettlestate. We're at the Silverton GP. I'm getting feedback from my side. Give me a moment. There it is now gone. Guys, we have changed up the season. We have taken away the mandatory pit stops and we are racing for 45 minutes. The beauty about this is that we do not know whether the cars will make it to the end or not. So the strategies will start coming into play, whether you go in for tires and put fuel. It is entirely up to you. It is going to keep the racing very
So welcome to Soccer Racing. If you're joining us this evening, if you're via the live stream, welcome this evening for this event. We're in Silverstone at the GP ring, and let me tell you, it's the LMP2 cars, 18 turns in this track, and I tell you what, 5.89 kilometers. It looks as though we're going to have a bit of fog this evening, and then obviously moving on to hopefully some clear weather from my understanding. So that's going to be an interesting one to look out for this evening. But I can tell you what, everybody is pumped up and ready to go this evening, and it's going to be one to watch. If I'm looking at the grid this morning, and as you can see, wow, this is going to be quite something out there. You can see how misty it is at the moment. It looks as though in these LMP2 cars, they'll be out on the track at the moment. You can see fog, heavy fog this morning in Silverstone. And I can tell you what, at the moment in Lobby 1, we have Turbo Charles, Bruno, we have Jakes, we have Quicksilver, Marius, SR VW, we've got Doopy, we've got Dylan, we've got Iceman, we've got Gav Pig, we've got RVR18, Ronaldo. Just remember to switch off your Wi-Fi, Ronaldo. And obviously from there we've got Ross, we've got Colin, and then we've got Jacques Racing, and then we've got The Rock, and then also we've got Rudy with us this evening. So just giving you a little bit of heads up. As you can see, Turbo Charles off the track at the moment. Not friendly conditions. I'm sure those tires are pretty cold. And as we heard from the driver's briefing by Dylan this evening, it could be an interesting one by all, because they've got 75 litres and they've got to complete the race. Yes, they do have the ability to go in and obviously refuel, but they're not too sure if those cars are going to last the length based on the fuel. And this evening joining me is obviously none other than Nesmax 7. So he's on board with us in the commentary box. Nesmax, how are you doing? How are you doing under the weather? He's based in the Middle East but a South African, so that's good news for us.
Thanks for having me. Yes, I don't wish this weather upon anyone. A good 50 degrees today, but yeah, the weather doesn't look that good on the racetrack at the moment also.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they would be praying for 50 degrees at the moment, considering what they're facing out there.
Yeah, absolutely awesome cars to drive, these V8s, LMP2 cars. I think almost 500 brake horsepower, so and the handling is absolutely fantastic. So I think the guys are going to enjoy this. Hopefully we'll have better weather in coming qualifying and in the race.
Yeah, so just to warm up the track, they've got basically 10 minutes practice, then they're going on to a 15-minute qualification, and it's a single race this evening of round about 45 minutes. So and I believe it's going to go probably from fog to overcast, probably medium cloud, and then it's going to be a little bit cleared up. So yeah, it's going to be cold, but at least I think it's going to be a little bit more visible than it currently is on the track. Tell me, are we able to have an in-car view there and see what it looks like from the driver's perspective? Look at that.
There you go. On board with Rudy here.
Thanks, Nesmax. Looks
to warm up those tires.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to be doing a little bit of in-car viewing, because heck, it's difficult to see these guys on the track, especially under these fog conditions.
Yeah, I'll do some cockpit views, and then I'll switch over to maybe some rooftop views or chase views for you guys.
I think that's an excellent idea. Here they're coming through Silverstone, start and finish at the moment. And as you can see, on board with Rudy, I see some of the guys have already put on some times there. Jake's at the top of the board there. Oh, he's going to lose it. Somebody's going to be missing a marker there or two for the break markers. Jake's is on a 147.445. Turbo Charles is coming in there with a 45.067. So he's just whacked Jake's out of the park there. Obviously, I mentioned
Sunday from Turbo Show.
Yeah, nice time. Just obviously, I mentioned 18 turns on this track. It's a 5.83 kilometer track. I mean, Silverstone, it is the GP track as well. So, I mean, this is the format they're using for the F1 side. And, I mean, it can be tricky. It can be tricky. I'm sure you'll agree with me on that one, Nesmax.
Yes, definitely. We've got some long straights, and I think these cars are actually quite. It's a good feeling to drive them there through Mackett and Beckett. That's as soon as I get a driver going through there, I'll show you which corners those are. But nice flowing S's, you know, and yeah, I think the guys are going to enjoy it. A lot of overtaking place for the guys also. I think we can expect couple of overtakes tonight.
Which definitely makes that exciting. I mean, it's got to be an open track. It's got to be something. Oh my goodness, look at the steering done by Bruno. He's really getting those tires across the track nice and warmed up there. I mean, you know, but I suppose that's what this session's about. A bit of practice, just getting the flow of the car, looking for that detail of where the braking points are. I mean, many of them have actually raced this track before. On with Dylan from the Black Mambas at the moment.
I think the guys are struggling a little bit warming up those tires. I think the track temperature at this stage will be quite low, so. As we see here, Dylan going through Mackett and Beckett's here. Nice flowing S's onto the throttle, onto the nice long back straight here. Late braking into this right-hander. Now almost passing the start finish line. Let's just see what lap time he's going to post for us tonight.
Well, let's have a look.
I think he might only be on his flying lap now.
Taking through the paces, nice little cornering there, keeping on the curb. Just got to watch the curb in these cars as well.
Just go on board here, last week's winner. He also hasn't set a lap time yet, so maybe just checking the fuel levels, tire temps, all of that stuff, making sure it's perfect for qualifying.
Yeah, I think as you mentioned, Nesmax, winner for last week in the E90. So different car this evening. Obviously the LMP2s, so they definitely, it's a whole change of pace for them as well. A little bit quicker in these, I'm sure. There's the 200 mark, coming up to the 50 mark, and this is a very nice long right hand bend. There's the sort of pit lane right in front of them. They're going to go into a short S here, 50 mark, and then pull themselves around. And then obviously flat on the throttle, keeping themselves pretty much start-finish operation. And there we go, putting himself at a 1 minute 44.944.
Just behind Turbo Shoal. Good lap time there from Bruno. On to the guys here. Why they haven't posted any lap times yet. Here you go, just as I go into Dylan, he posts a 147.6, puts himself into 7th place. Ooh, Turbo Shoal losing the back end there a little bit.
Yeah, straight to the pits, and that's the third time we've seen that, so it's just probably an indication of how tough it is on this track. Back on with Bruno, now Quicksilver 73, and I'm sure he's going to be trying to get himself up the group at the moment. So yeah, if you are joining us on the live stream, welcome. We're glad to have you on board with us, and hopefully myself and Nesmax are going to be giving you all the best information. Thank you for joining us for last week's race as well. It was great to have you all on board, and hopefully this evening we're going to bring you all the action and obviously give you a good indication. Give us a thumbs up if you like the commentary as well as you like the channel. It's always good to have you coming back, and maybe just hit the notification as well, because that's going to tell you exactly when we're on, and you can obviously join in at any time. It's always a pleasure to have you guys with us, and we look forward each week in bringing you this format. I see old Rock is a DC, but there you go. It's all done and dusted. Turbo Shoal, then Bruno, then it is Marius. Nice time from you, sir. And then Jakes, Jacques, Quicksilver, Dylan in 7th. I got as far as that. Now we go into the qualification session. I'm going to hand over to Nesmax and let him take you through what's actually taking place on the track.
Right, so the weather actually looking worse at the moment for the guys. Let's just go if we can get a cockpit view here. Alright, if who's out first, we can go on board with them. Audio with Ninko. Again, going off track there, I think he's just going to let some of the guys pass. Oh, and as we go on to Jake's here, you can see he's had some impact with the wall or something, because he's got a cracked front window. So he might be going back to the pit lane to get that repaired. You can see the guys warming up the tires. They go into Brooklyn Center Field. That's those corners, that's the name of those corners. See the guys really doing some extra drifting from side to side to get the maximum temperature out of those tires. Trying to see who's going to go on a hot lap first.
So on with Doopy at the moment, obviously waiting for the first times to come through. As you can see, just off the throttle, it looked as though he hit the curb quite hard there. But I'm sure they are battling. Oh, there we go. Doopy not too sure at the moment. He's back in the pits. Here on board with Ross at the moment.
Ross,
yeah, with Ross. It was fantastic to have him with the F1 guys on Sunday, Nesmax.
Yes.
He only had 6 races under his belt when he drove last week. So, pretty brave, I must say.
Yes, that's for sure. No, the Salco guys really upping their game there in the F1 league. Especially Marius and Dylan getting into the points in the last race. So, good on them.
Yeah, and now with this week, Thursday night at the Sarko events. Remember, alternative championships running. The E30 class of the BMW Touring, and then this class, which is the LMP2s. I'll tell you what, oh, there we go. A bit of an outside view of Quicksilver at the moment. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to make a difference from his race last week. But now he's in the LMP2, so let's see how that goes. Very nice looking car, wouldn't you say?
Yes, that's for sure. You see him going here through Stowe. Looking to not drift too wide onto that corner, because you might very easy to get invalid lap times over here, or even time penalties. And as we see there, Bruno putting up the fastest lap for us there at the top in number 1 with a 144.8. Quicksilver coming in, pushing into 4th there, 146.9. Let's just go up here. Oh no, wait, let's go on board here with the guys.
Ross, this is with Ross at the moment. You can call him the cat if you like, but Ross, let's have a look. And I mean, we're quite verbal about the guys, sort of where their breaking points are, and if they're too far across when it comes to their layout. But obviously, inside view gives you a good indication of how they're actually trying to steer these cars and keep them between the white lines at the moment. And you know, Silverstone is actually pretty wide as well. It's not a narrow track, which is sometimes, and that's why I think you mentioned, you know, good areas for overtaking. So that's not going to be too much of a problem. This is that long sweep coming in flat out now, and I think we go into a right-hander, then into a left-hander here for that.
It's also very fast flowing corners and onto the brakes.
You can see the tire marks already from the guys braking a little bit too hard.
Onto the Wellington straight here.
Yeah, this is the Wellington straight now. It's a nice little tuck into the left, and then it's going to go right. You can see Ross is from the UK. He knows the track.
145.7. Yeah. He knows the weather also, it looks like.
Absolutely. He knows the weather. But he's in Scotland, so we can understand. I mean, obviously, Silverstone is nowhere near Scotland. Oh, bit of a
still sitting with that
nice big crack.
Window.
Yeah. Obviously met with a barrier somewhere. Obviously racing for the Black Mambas. So him and Dylan in a team.
Just Doopy going on board with him. He just posted the lap time 152.6, putting him there in 10th spot. And then Bruno looking to challenge Turbo Shaw here at the top again. Only 2/10 in it. Posting a lap time of 144.8.
So Turbo Charles at the moment 144.677. Bruno a 144.867. And then, obviously, seems as though a bit of a time penalty there for Ross at the moment. He's just done a 1:45.702. Sounds like a radio station here in SA. And then Quicksilver, 73. He's done a 1:45.936. Marius a little bit slow in this particular round. He ended up third in the practice, but his time is considerably higher than what it was. So let's see if he can sort of buckle down. I'm sure those tires seem to be a lot warmer now. 6 minutes, 6 minute plus to go in the quali session. But at the moment, as you can see on the pole position is going to be Turbo Shaw. Bruno's just pitted. He's sort of 190, 100th of a 90. I'm sounding like somebody who was a former president here at the moment. But he is just a fraction slower, let's put it that way, than Turbo Shaw this evening. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. Get out the way, I'm busy on my lap. There we go. The commentator helps him there. Back with Dupe. From Turbo Turtle Racing.
Bruno.
Yeah, let's go on with Bruno.
He's obviously going to look to set another lap time.
Oh, I think no, he won't now.
That's for sure. See where Turbo Shaw is on the track.
Oh, that's also done.
He's backing out of it.
Yeah, so it's all about getting it nicely set up and operating.
Looking to get a good exit here on the corner, gain the maximum speed onto this first start-finish straight. Really fast right-hander, then hit the steering wheel going left again, and onto the brakes, looking to not overshoot.
Yeah, I think a bit of a deceleration there, Nesmax, I think he overshot that, which cost him a little, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, that's the beauty of these cars. They certainly have the power. However, you know, oops. However, sorry about that, guys. However, you have to have that consistent control. Back on with Turbo Shaw, back on with Bruno at the moment. Let's see how he handles this. Very nicely done. That was superbly handled. And now comes into the S's. Oh, that's much better.
Looking to get some slipstream here from the car in front. Ooh,
so
I think he's left.
Yeah, that
Might
caused
have been
it.
compromised there.
That's compromised.
There, Turbo Shaw also back in. He's gonna look to put in another hot lap. Let's go down a bit, see what the guys are doing here.
Back on with Marius now.
Ross closing the gap there in third spot, 27 tenths now.
So this is Jacques Racing from obviously Project Cat. That's the team at the moment. So he'll be in car number 69. Oh, that looked a bit overly there.
Going back to the pits.
On with Jakes from the Black Mambas. Teammate with Dylan, and I tell you, his car at the moment, basically he's number 44. So car number 44. I mean, is this weather cleaning up at the moment, or was it just fog? We got like 56 seconds to go, Nesmax, and I tell you what, it hasn't cleared up that much, has it?
No, not at all. I don't think the guys are noticing it on the track. I think the track temperature will stay the same at the moment.
So he's crossed the line. This might give him the opportunity. Here we go.
On board with Turbo Shoal 4. I think he's going to try and put in a last hot lap here for us.
Good to watch as well. He might have some traffic that's going to hinder him. He's going to sort of negotiate his way around this driver in front of him at the moment. So on the bottom of your screen, you can see there it is definitely Turbo Shoal Bruno. And nice to see Ross handling it in there, and then Quicksilver, and then Marius in 5th place. So that's going to be the standings as we watching Turbo Shoal coming through.
Let's see if he backs out on this lap, because I think he is going to take pole spot here today, but he might want to better his lap time. No more time remaining for other drivers to set another lap.
He's not backing out, so obviously he's going for it. This is that long right-hander. He's going to keep it tight, and he keeps it tight nicely there, making sure.
Very nicely done.
It is absolutely superb there. Like this is the one they're having a bit of trouble with, and it's basically because if they stick their foot on the throttle too much, it sort of overextends and slides out. But there it is. He didn't manage to better his time from what I see there. Quicksilver coming in now, obviously looking to maybe go up one position. Can he do it? No. And as brief as that, no. You want to take us through the lineup there?
Turbo Shoal taking pole position with 144.6. Just behind them, Bruno with a 144.8. Then you get Ross with a 145.3. Quicksilver coming in 4th, Marius 5th, Iceman 6th, Jock Racing 7th, Jakes in 8th. I see Dylan saying he struggled a bit on the track. He's in 9th. And RVR taking 10th spot there. So I briefly saw, who was it? I think Ross has a one grid place penalty. Ooh, so the weather's still not too amazing here. Let's just maybe see if we can do a face view, and then we go down. It's, we can see the pull away from here. Might be better. So then just waiting for everyone setting their, just adjusting their setups and making sure they've got the right tires. Weather conditions not looking that great. I think they will go for the soft slicks on this one. Get the maximum grip. Yeah, I'm just here on board with Ross, otherwise we can't get a good view to see the guys pulling away. Turbo Shoal getting a very good pull away. Oh, and as we already have contact there, and then Ross makes contact with, oh, not good, as we see a car there on its roof. That will not go down lightly. Let's just
Ross,
go on board here with
obviously very much involved in that, Nesmax, unfortunately. But you saw they lost it, and this is the problem with those cold tires.
I think the guy's missing the braking markers there. And those cold tires, as you say. But as we see, yeah, the two teammates actually first and second.
But Quicksilver definitely qualified in third. I saw he was third on the grid. Ross lost, unfortunately, a position which was gave him the upper hand on that third position, but on board with Marius at the moment. And
I'm just going down the grid a bit and see if the guys have any damage or. All of them looking fine so far. You can see Dylan also picked up some damage on the car in front here. Look at his left rear tail light not working, and also that rear wing looks a little bit crooked. I think he's gonna go into pits too.
Yeah, he's gonna pit.
That. So then most of these guys. Oh, and I think Iceman here actually doesn't have a wheel. He's really going to struggle to bring that car back to the pits. I think it might be the left.
Looks as though sparks are flying from the left-hand side of this car. It's can we get an out view of that just to see if it's going to show us? See if we got an out view there.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, there you go. Left front tire.
Left front tire gone.
Oh, when he loses it again, I think that thing will be horrible to drive at the moment. Let's just go to the leader here. Turbo Shoal pulling away from the guys at the moment.
I think he was glad he was in the front of the pack, but you can see how bad that fog is at the moment. So let's go back on. I agree with you there. Lap number 2. Let's go to ice and see what they're doing to that damn car quickly.
Okay.
Because I'm sure he's going to be really... We can have an outside view. There they go, changing the tires at the moment. Keeping him well in that pit there. At least they're finished. Down it goes. But I think now he's really not happy. And they're still doing repairs to that car.
Yeah, I think lucky to still be on the track actually, because I think he was... Iceman was the guy that landed on his roof, wasn't he?
No, that was Ross, unfortunately, and Ross is out of this race, man. I think he took severe damage, and he's out. Well, anyway, look, you can see there Turbo Shaw leading lap number 3, Quicksilver, his teammate, right behind him. Then you have obviously you've got Marius, then Bruno, which are also teammates. They're the two teammates there. Quicksilver, his partner's way out in front. There you go. We're on board with Bruno. Marius slightly in front of him at the moment.
Really closing in here on Marius now. Sure, he won't be taking unnecessary chances, seeing that they are teammates.
I can only agree with you on that one, Nesmax. And if you're wondering why we're in car, it's a little bit difficult for the cameras to pick up these cars at the moment under these foggy conditions. So we are keeping you abreast with what's going on by putting us in the car. But I tell you what, we're seeing some action at the moment anyway. I think outside, there we go. That's a nice view there, Nesmax. We can see, look, there we go. There is actually these two guys are catching these teammates. There we go. Something's gone awry there. Oh no, Bruno!
Oh, and see, Bruno loses it. I think the guys are still struggling to get that tire temps under control.
Absolutely, I think it's a hell of a challenge. On with Jakes now. And here's some action. Here's some definite action going on here. Nicely tucked in. He seems as though he's going to overtake. Yes, he does. So he's just taken Rudy.
Ooh, Rudy running a bit wide there as well as Jakes. Let's go down a bit. See where Dylan is. Want to see go backside. Don't think we're gonna see much. He's still riding with that crooked rear wing, so he'll be having lots of downforce there. Hopefully he can come back in a good way.
I see the weather is changing, so we're starting to see these cars now a little bit better. So that may be helping us.
Yeah, still 37 minutes left, so let's hope for some sunlight coming out of those clouds.
Yeah, it needs to burn up that vapor and get them so that we can actually see these cars. Car number 19 now, you can see is Doopy. On board with him, you can see it's clearing up quite nicely. We're going to sort of an overcast situation. Still a little bit chilly, I think.
I think we can go trackside now on the views. Either guys, let's move up here to Rudy. He's closing in here on Ninko.
Yeah, that's Colin. So Ninko is actually Colin. That's So Ninko's actually Dalco Racing. So yeah, he's in car number 12 at the moment. And as you can see, the weather's a lot better than what it was a couple of minutes ago. I mean, you couldn't see a damn thing at one time, so that's nicely cleared up. At least we can see the shape and the colors of the cars at the moment as well.
I see here Ross in the comment section informing us that Jake's Dogs Racing is in he's on the medium mix, so he's gonna try and do the full well 35 minutes that's left without doing another pit stop. I'm not sure, did he do a pit stop at the beginning or not?
To be honest with you, I'm not too sure because there was so much drama at the beginning of the race. I know a couple of guys went in, but it could be, but even in that case, if they've just done the fender in, and Jacques is a little bit twittish at the moment, so hopefully that's not going to affect anybody else at the moment. There's Quicksilver, there's Bruno.
Bruno doing a good job getting back into third spot.
So now there has been quite a change. It's Turbo Shaw, Marius, Bruno. And it looks as though Turbo Shaw's just picked up a penalty for some reason. Dylan's in the pit now. So he's actually not having too much success with this LMP2 car at the moment.
On board here with Rudy, he's looking to overtake Inco here. That's out of it a little bit. See if he can get some slipstream here down the back straight. Thanks Ross for informing us here in the comment section. So Ross saying no pit stop for Jock, so let's see, he might have a good opportunity overtaking those guys in the front. Okay. Ross, if you want, you can join us here in the commentary box. Let me know in the comment section. Some close racing here between Rudy and Inco. Rudy looking for that overtaking. Oh, and I think there you have it. Jocks Racing actually out of the race. They disconnected. Really unfortunate there.
As I said, he was looking a bit jittery at that particular point in time. So I was actually expecting something to go wrong there. And I know sometimes people might say it's the commentary curse or the commentator's curse, but you could see it having an overall effect on the guys this evening. So just a reminder, obviously these cars only had 75 litres of fuel. It's always a little bit of a gamble depending on the mix and how you're enriching this car, whether you're going to make it to the end of this race or end of 45 minutes. We've done 31 minutes to go, so we've still got a long way in this race to see what's actually happening.
I'll be right back.
So there we go. As Nesmax just takes a little bit of a break, let me continue with what's going on. You can see how close it is at the moment. Definitely lap number 8. This is no means a small track, and it is Silverstone, the GP track, and I can tell you now it is quite exciting racing. We're having a look at the two teammates coming through. Turbo Shaw is leading this race at number 8, and then obviously if we look now to Marius and Bruno, they are the guys we've got on the screen at the moment. We're online with Bruno, and his teammate is Marius just in front of him, and it's the Silverback Racing team. There they go through start and finish here at Silverton, and quite a nice straight down into a right-hander, then directly into a left-hander, and it can be a bit wayward there, and then back into another right-hander, and then we're going to come across into a left-hander. And those little sweeps, they look little, but when you're actually driving them, Quicksilver pitting at the moment, so obviously he's discovered maybe he needs to have a refuel or something. And you can see at the moment it's a lot of guesswork that is going on this evening, where they need to be. Obviously when you're out there racing, you want to make sure that you're far ahead of everybody, and it sometimes can compromise the mix that you're putting on the dial. So two close racing partners happening right here, where they're driving exceptionally well. So let me just catch up with who is where. We're with Bruno at the moment, taking his time behind his teammate at the moment. I think conserving fuel would be the strategy here. You can see him in the black and white helmet, car number 51. Turbo Shaw on 10 laps now. Just put in a time of 1 minute and 47.195. Mario and Bruno just put on a 148. So they are slightly slower at the moment through this sector. And I can tell you now, they'll be focusing on what they need to do. So as you can see, teammates at the moment. Now we're back with Jake's at the moment, car number 44. And he's just done a 1 minute 49 second from a 150. So a second faster now on board with Rooney. We've got a pitter taking place after 10 laps. So 27 minutes done in this racing. The weather's a lot better, and it's great to see the cars now, because I tell you what, earlier on, wow, it was hugely difficult to see where they were, and obviously that's now sort of cleared up. Not quite clear and sunshine, but it is definitely a lot easier to see the cars.
Yeah, I think the guys will be happy with the track temperatures warming up a little bit now. There's still 27 minutes left. We have had a couple of guys that went into the pits. We're on board with the leader here, Turbo Shaw. Going nice and smooth at the moment. So on board with him, and as we say that, I think Bruno overtaking Marius for that second spot.
Yeah, I see Dylan's obviously commentating. I don't know how he's commentating. What's he got, a voice activation on the stream there? He's talking to the stream because he says, "Man, man, I struggled." So obviously he typed that in after he got off that first that qualification time. So yeah, guys, very nice to see you on the stream at the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. Yep. No, Jacques DC, absolutely. I know that was mentioned a little bit earlier, but that is the way it is. Obviously, Ross, wow, I saw that accident. We actually were with you on board when that happened. So it's quite clear. You can actually go back in the stream and see what happened there. I'm not too sure who hit who, but it definitely wasn't pleasant for you at that particular point.
Yeah, Bruno now. Bruno pulling away from Marius at the moment.
Yeah, I think Marie's just mentioned it's actually Dylan's mother. He was chatting to his mother. Thank you. And from my understanding, yep, it's always good to have mom watching. So that's a good thing. Absolute, Ross. I see. It was absolutely a very kind way of putting things, and I'm sure it wasn't pleasant at all. But anyway, as I said, you can watch it on the stream. It was actually quite shocking. And I don't know, a lot of people didn't take control of themselves in that particular area. Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, Dylan down in 9th place. So, yep, I think what you need to do is actually just give him some more encouragement there. I don't understand why he is down in 9th place. That's Dylan. I'm just reading what's on the street, what's on the commentary section. Okay, so we have some sun. Oh, that's a nice maneuver going there. Oh!
Ooh.
Iceman! Making himself known to rock at the moment.
Not sure if there was any contact there. Iceman's car really jumped to the left hand side very quickly.
Yeah, maybe Dylan is biding his time, but he better not take too long because it's 22 minutes into this track. And there we go, on board with him, car number 42. Seems to be in the middle of a bit of a spat going on there. The problem is, I think his teammate is actually...
He's catching Doopy, so might see an overtake there.
Well, I'm interested to see that, because definitely here it comes now. Doopy from Turtle Turbo Racing. He's in car number 19. Just behind him now is Dylan. So maybe that awakening is starting to happen. But he did have some considerable damage to his car at the time. So hopefully he's going to prounce on Doopy at the moment. We've got the Black Mamba after the Turtle. So lap number 14 done. 21 minutes and 20 odd seconds to go. And you can see Jakes is just... yeah, but I think Jakes is well up there, hey? Jakes is well up there. He's basically lapping at the moment. So on board with Jakes at the moment. Lapping the back markers there. You can see him coming down the straight now. It might be that Jakes gives some sort of support. Let's see if we can get him in the back there. Make sure he gets right behind him. Tucks in behind. And creates almost a vacuum to draw Dylan up so he can catch Doopy. There we go. Here it comes. So pitting at the moment is Rudy. It's going to be a full. Is it going to be full tire change? The whole. Yes, it is. So fuel going in. You can see he's willing that fuel into the car. Go faster there. The fuel's out.
A little bit of a late pull away there from the pit exit. Let's go back on here with Dylan.
Yeah, you can see now.
Two guys in front of him. He'll make up some time because Doopy and who is this RBR is actually battling each other here. So let's hope.
So that's Ronaldo now. Ronaldo. Quite a few guys with time penalties at the moment. So there we go. Time penalties up. I don't know if you want to take us through that. Dylan's got a huge one. That's not stopping him. That's coming too fast into the pit lane.
And then Turbo Scholl and Bruno at the top for coming. Turbo Scholl with 1 second and Bruno also 2 seconds. A little bit down the order. We have Jakes with also 1 second and then Rudy with another 1 second. We can see Bruno actually setting the fastest lap at the moment with a 1:46.3. He seems to be catching Turbo Scholl and then he loses time again. There's maybe certain parts of the track where Turbo Scholl is quicker and then other certain parts of the track where Bruno is quicker. There you go, actually made up quite some time there now into 8 seconds. Let's just go on board here with him.
Yeah, I think as Ross mentioned right now, we've got to watch these two up in front because there definitely is going to be a pit stop. So Dupe's moved down and Dylan's moved up into 8th spot.
There you go, Dylan overtaking. Who's this again? Sorry.
That's Ronaldo.
Ross.
So that's Ronaldo. Don't worry, the first time I saw that I thought, okay, so it's a restriction of 18, no swearing, no nudity, no violence and no bad language. So, we've just been joined by Quicksilver.
Doopy actually overtaking Ronaldo there. Let's just see if Ronaldo will try to get that position back. think Ronaldo might be struggling on his tires at the moment. Seems to be losing a lot of time. Bruno making up some time now. Now almost 7 seconds behind Turbo Shaw.
So he is picking up. Now, Quicksilver, what happened to you, sir?
Yes, man, I had a bit of bad luck. I had a good start, got past Bruno, and I think he tapped me a bit on the back and lost control there. And running good in second, strong in second, and one of the back markers took me out. I had major damage, and my pit strategy didn't allow damage to get repaired. So I was trying to get my pit strategy changed while I was racing, and I lost a bit of concentration there, and I speeded into the pits and disqualification.
Oh, so
I can, bad luck for me there.
I can tell you what happened. Basically, Dylan had a similar experience. He's got a 10-second penalty for that. But obviously Ross is on the stream at the moment, and he actually, that accident where this guy clipped that guy, which clipped this guy, put Ross on his roof. So,
okay.
Yeah, unfortunately,
I had it going well for the second place, and unfortunately, like I said, the back marker took me out, and yeah, that's a bit of bad luck there.
Yeah, unfortunately there.
That is unfortunate.
But anyway,
you guys
going
with the weather at the beginning.
I'm not sure. I'll guess about lap 5, 6, around about there. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can assure you, you couldn't see a damn thing. We were sort of having to go on inside the cockpit view to actually see what the heck was going on, because you couldn't see the cars from the external until around about lap 5 or 6. So yeah, 13 minutes to go, guys, and I can tell you now it looks all good. We're on with Bruno at the moment. He is in second position now, but he does have that 2-second penalty. Marius in third, but really an exceptional drive from Turbo Charles this evening. He's on lap number 18. As we said, we're going to have to see, I'm sure we're almost going to see a pit stop by the individuals, because I don't feel they're going to make the entire race.
No, I don't think they will make it. With all the testing, you need about between 5 and 7 liters, depending on how hard you drive. So I don't think that anybody will make it, except if they use some mapping on the fuel and lose some time there, try and save some fuel, or maybe an early shift there, early gear shift or premature gear shift. That will help with a little bit of fuel saving. But yes, it's a difficult call there.
Yeah, so we're on lap number 19, Nesmax. I don't know, we're on with Turbo Charles. Car number 2 he's in. And obviously...
Bruno now making up a lot of time here on Turbo Charles.
He is.
It was 10 seconds, now up to 4 seconds. So I think Turbo Charles is starting to struggle a little bit in the front.
I think it all goes down to that fuel saving now. I think he's conserving as much fuel as possible, and is this the right strategy? Because you've got Bruno, who's basically just now put on a 1 minute 45.806, which is not the quickest time of his race, but it could be in actual fact. I think there was a 146, if I'm not mistaken, Nesmax. I think that was what it was.
It's 146.8, I think, was the fastest lap time there. We can check again.
There's a big possibility that Charles might be on a fuel saving map, because I can see Bruno gaining a lot of him on the straights. So there's a big possibility for that.
Yeah, and that's what I mentioned. I think he's now sort of gone into fuel saving mode. And yeah, there we go. If you have a look now, he's sort of dropped that down. Bruno's now going quite intense now. He's just put on the best lap of his time of 1 minute 45.538. And he's not slowing down at all, is he?
The problem is here to pass. You can get up to a driver that's a second slower than you, but it's difficult to pass because of the downforce. And it's got a lot of dirty air behind these cars, you know, and it's really difficult to follow through those fast corners.
Absolutely. And we're just watching it now as they're coming through. Lap number 20. So time factor obviously playing down. And you can see there we've just gone to the trigonometry of the car. You can see basically the fuel. You got 13.1 and 13.9.
Yeah, Bruno still has a little bit more fuel at the moment.
I think the average fuel usage here is about 3.1 liters per lap. So if you make a math there.
So averaging at about 145 a lap, say 147 a lap. And the time's gone, so I'm not too sure how much time is left. Maybe you can get that back up so we can see. There we go. Thank you very much. So it's just over 9 minutes left. And all the calculators are out at the moment trying to work that one out. But it's probably sort of, you said how many liters?
Well, 12 liters will give you just under, will give you 3 point something laps.
Yeah, so
because you're using 3.1 per lap.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There you go. You got 9 minutes left. We're talking probably now down to 8 minutes. 8 minutes 45 seconds basically, and we're doing it 1 minute 46 a lap. And I think the pressure's on now because your teammate has started to pick up the pace somewhat.
Yeah, I think he's still got it in the bag, because he's got 1 second penalty against 2 seconds penalties, and it's also very difficult to pass. So I think if he keeps it on the black stuff, he might still make it. It all depends on the strategy, you know.
But this is now what makes it exciting, because looking at where we are, Bruno's now got to make a decision. All I can tell you now, he's waiting if Turbo Charles going to pull in to the pits, and this is what we're about to see now. Is he going to go in?
If he's going to pull in, it's going to be on the second last lap. That's for sure.
That's for sure. And he's just missed it now. So Bruno's not going to go in now. He's waiting for Turbo Charles, and we can see here how it's going down. The geometry on the actual fuel there now. What is the fuel conditions? Because this is really getting exciting from that aspect. There we go. Fuel up. 7.8 liters left.
And
compared to 8.5.
Bruno will be you'll be able to run in that rich mix a little bit longer, I think, than Turbo Charles. Coming to the end of the race, yeah.
Down to 8 there, down to 8 liters. 7.9. There we go, 6.8. So now it's going to be really down to...
there's 2 laps left there.
There's 2 laps left.
Of fuel.
Yep, 2 laps left of fuel, and we're on 6 minutes and 19 seconds.
Now he's going to have to pit, eh?
But yeah, he's going to have to pit. I think Bruno also.
Yeah, they both are going to have to pit. Won't make it. And
you can see how close they are coming down the straight at the moment. There we are on board with Marius. Marius has got 9.7 litres of fuel. Coming in, I think we should go over to maybe Turbo Charles and Bruno, because this will definitely now give us an indication. Their start and finish. They're going to definitely go.
You see, Bruno was running in Marius' slip for a couple of laps, so I think that he had some fuel saving under that conditions.
Yeah, but that's all gone now, Silver. That's all gone. That's gone. No more. I think he made that intelligent move. There we go. Just having a look. I was going to say that he's actually neutral, because, but I don't think so.
You see, Turbo Charles is using a little bit more fuel at the moment. He's on 3.7 litres per lap, where Bruno is on 3.2.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, Turbo Charles may be going into rich mix for this last lap before he goes back into the pits. Now he's got some back markers here, coming up to the back markers.
Oh, Bruno's got it bad as well. Shame.
Yeah, yeah.
So Bruno is on 3.4, and as you can see now on the screen, 3.8 for Turbo Charles. "23 laps, 4 minutes left." So there we go, into the pits. Bruno goes in, as just in front of him now is Turbo Charles. Now it's all about how much fuel they're going to accept to take them the rest of this race.
Oh, my soul. What happened there?
There we go. We're on board with Bruno. Bruno's actually in the front. There we go. There's Turbo Charles.
Yeah.
He's out. There's Bruno. He's out. Now let's hope they don't. The tires are still warm. No hindrance from coming out of the pits at the moment. Marius is also in the pits. But this has definitely given Bruno now the opportunity to catch. It's either now or never. They need to do that, and he's got to beat him by a second. So I'm with you, Quicksilver, on this one. Is he going to be able to get ahead 2 seconds? I doubt it. But it's definitely going to be a close one, and I don't think they're even considering that. I think what is being considered is, can I get past you? Just as a statement here this evening.
Yeah. It will be more about that at this point of time.
Bruno putting in a little bit more fuel than Turbo Charles.
I think it's to make sure that he turns up that rich mixture right to max to see if he can get faster. And here we are now directly on board with Bruno, who's going to definitely try and see if he can get past Turbo Charles. We've got 1 minute and 52 seconds left in this championship. It's the first one of the season for the LMP2s. There we go. Just a quick overview of what it was. So it's 1 lap in it. This is basically the last lap for these guys. Can they actually get around and sort this out? And I can tell you now, it's going to be an exciting finish, because it definitely means that Bruno is now looking for him to make a mistake. And I tell you what, for Turbo Charles to make a mistake, that's a difficult one. But let's see. There were no tire changes there, so the tires are nice and warm. They have cooled down slightly, but I can tell you now, nice line they're taking across from each other. It looks as though we have 1 minute to go, And it's got to be within 2 seconds. You can see the pace coming through now. Bruno looking for that opportunity. Can he get past? He's definitely looking. Is that gap available? But there is no gap. And obviously you can see now he's going to get into that slipstream. He's going to look to see if he can peek himself through. Some exciting stuff from Bruno now.
Ooh, that was close.
Almost losing the back end there.
Yeah, if you touch the curb there, you're gone. But he kept it well there. Well done to him there.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go. It's not over. Can he get past just for that statement? Let's have a look and see. This is almost the last bend. 9 seconds left. Down to 4, 3, 2, 1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, to the finish line will be the end of this race. You can see now Turbo Charles saying, not a damn, you're not getting past me, sir. I'm the guy who's going to be taking the checkered flag. And not even from a statement point of view, there is the race done and dusted. And I can tell you what, that was quite an exciting finish for us to watch. It was great having you watching the stream. Thank you so much. And we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We're on board with Jakes at the moment, finishing off this race. The race is completed. Marius ends up in 3rd, Jakes in 4th. But that's not the final, because Dylan moved up from 9th to 5th. Very nicely done from his side as well. Rudy in there, Collins in there, Ice is in there, Dupe dropped down. And then Ronaldo, he must have switched on his Wi-Fi on his phone, because he's down in 10th. And then The Rock, he is in 11th position. He had an awful start. He dragged himself back to the pit with no tire, and then still completed this race. Big up to him for that achievement.
Rock, he's done for the race because he actually standing still on the track. He still has some
Maybe he ran out
left.
of fuel.
I think the fuel situation you can see there, I think it's at 0.
That car looks like it doesn't have front wheels, or the front suspension is
See
gone.
if you can go from the front side.
Not sure I'm going to be able to get out that view.
Yeah, I think tires are gone on that.
Yeah. It does have window damage. I think he might have picked up some damage.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
if
well
you
done
look
to
there, I
Shelby,
mean,
and
his
Bruno did
average fuel was 0.91.
Well done to Shelby, and Bruno did an excellent job catching up there.
Absolutely.
Yes, I don't know how he got that right, because he was like 6 and a couple of seconds at a time behind that, and he actually could catch up then, so he had a very good second half of the race there.
Yeah, I think he strategized there because he did fall a little bit way behind, and then, as you mentioned, picked up there. There you go, 1.4 liters left. So there we go, final layout for this evening's race. Turbo Charles, Bruno, Marius, Jakes, Dylan in 5th place, Rudy Bays in 6th, Iceman 872 in 7th, obviously Colin in 8th, 9th was Doopy, and then Ronaldo in 10th position. Time penalty served. Time penalty served there, so that was it. Say again,
well
quick.
done to the guys there. I'm gonna knock off. I'm gonna knock off here. So thanks a lot, Savvy.
No problem, my good man. Always good to have you. Nesmax and I are just going to be signing off, and it was a good evening by all. Hopefully you enjoyed the racing. Nesmax, thanks once again for joining me in the commentary box. It's always a pleasure having you with us. And then also to Quicksilver, thanks for joining us just to give us a bit of commentary on what's going on and what happened to you in that particular case, man. But it was a pleasure.
Sure. Pleasure is mine. Thanks a lot for the
Thanks, guys.
for having us.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. So signing off from Savvy here. Thank you very much for joining us. I hand over now to Nesmax just to say the final words.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys, and really good racing. Really, pulling out all the stops there, catching Turbo Shoal. On to next week, and hope to see all of you back again. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Cheers. And as mentioned, we've got Sunday racing. GP, come and support the Sarko boys in that GP event. F1 GP. And then also back next Thursday with the E90 series here on Sarko Racing. And then don't forget, we also have the midweek racing as well, which is on Tuesdays round about 7 o'clock. And you can join the guys there as well. So all in all, it's been a great evening. Thank you for your participation. And peace and drive safely. Have a great weekend as well.